Tonight, Wisconsin reports its first COVID-19 related deaths. This as a new case is confirmed in Bayfield County. And in Duluth, city leaders say there aren't enough testing kits for the virus, and it's a concern.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke. Thanks for joining us. Wisconsin is now reporting their first deaths from the coronavirus. Governor Tony Evers saying tonight a man in his 50s from Fond du Lac County and a man in his 90s from Ozaukee County have died. No other details about their circumstances are being released at this time. We've also learned tonight the outbreak has reached inside a state prison for the first time. This comes after a report earlier today showing a high school student in Bayfield County has tested positive for COVID-19. Bayfield County health officials say the student developed symptoms after returning from an area where there's been a spread of COVID-19. The student has been given information on self-quarantine procedures, and the health department will keep in daily contact to monitor his symptoms. The Bayfield School District is asking all families with high school students to self-isolate for 14 days starting today. So here's a look at the current number of cases around the region. Michigan is now up to 3 deaths as the number of infected has skyrocketed to 334. Wisconsin also has a large surge in numbers today, jumping up to 155 cases. Most of those cases are in the eastern portion of the state. Meanwhile, Minnesota has 89 reported infections. Most of those are in the Twin Cities and surrounding areas. There are no confirmed cases in the Twin Ports. As far as COVID-19 testing kits in our region go, city leaders say we don't have enough of them, and it's a concern. CBS 3's Leanne Valdez has the details.
We need more testing.
A shortage of testing kits for COVID-19 across the country also means a shortage for Duluth. As a result of that, healthcare officials are strongly limiting the tests they do have to 3 groups: healthcare workers, senior living care facility residents, and hospitalized individuals. But a big question still remains. Are healthcare leaders giving the community a false sense of security, not knowing if people do, in fact, have COVID-19, and we just don't know it?
Is there a false sense of security out there? I think the answer to that is yes.
Essential officials said Thursday across all essential markets, East, Duluth, Fargo, and Brainerd. They've done 213 tests. Meanwhile, St. Luke's said around 100. Both companies say they're doing the best they can with what they currently have.
That is the best we can do. That is not adequate. But it doesn't have anything to do with our capacity. It has to do with our ability to get the supplies to do the testing.
That's why it's essential people take steps to protect themselves, says President of Essentia Health East, Dr. John Pryor.
So I think that each and everyone in the community should really just kind of think of it that any one of you could have COVID-19. Hence, why I'm going to stay 6 feet away from you, and hence why we need to hunker down.
Whether you're tested or not, the guidelines of what to do are still the same.
You're not going back to work or what your daily activities. You have to quarantine at home.
Once our region gets more testing kits, the situation should change.
When the capacity increases, then there'll be liberalization of testing.
If you have symptoms and are concerned, for now, officials recommend filling out an e-visit. Just yesterday alone, 300 were filled out. We'll have a link to that process on our website, cbs3duluth.com. Meanwhile, Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar said today she is working with hospitals like St. Luke's and Essentia to get free and fast testing available to everyone.
We should have tests available for free, which is what the legislation we passed yesterday makes clear, that it will be free, but they should be available everywhere. There should be no waiting lines. Why? It's a public health issue.
In Wisconsin, election officials say their looming primary could face many problems. The state's Elections Commission administrators sent a memo to commissioners on Wednesday outlining problems with not postponing the April 7th primary. They include a shortage of absentee ballots, a disruption in mail service, and the risk of exposing elderly voters to coronavirus. Governor Tony Evers said he wants the primary to go on as planned. On Facebook, Superior Mayor Jim Payne pleaded with residents to vote absentee We have information on how to do that on our website, CBS3Duluth.com. Campus classes are now canceled for the rest of the semester at St. Scholastica. The school president made that announcement today. Students and teachers will continue with online and virtual classroom learning. The school's president also canceled commencement ceremonies and is exploring other options, including a different date or a virtual graduation ceremony. Also, starting on Monday, all employees must work remotely unless their job requires them to be on campus. Dave joins us now for a quick look at the weather. Dave, I woke up to some snow this morning. Anything coming our way overnight here?
Well, if rangers like you were the first to taste the snow from last night, your chance has pretty much faded away. A couple of flurries still possible. It's people on the South Shore now that have the chance for accumulating snow to come across through at least noon tomorrow, maybe even a little bit longer. Let's start by looking at temperatures here this evening. Behind the low pressure system that's now slowly departing, it's starting to cool, so we're down to 18 in Baudette, a sign of a chill to come. Still on the warm side for Wisconsin and Michigan. 34 currently in both Ashland and Hayward, and low 30s towards the Upper Peninsula. Cloud cover thicker there. Cloud cover from a migrating low pressure system that should be shifting away from rain and turning over to snow tonight and through again, like I mentioned, at least noon tomorrow. So let's fire up the day planner. And if you live on the Minnesota side of life and much of northwestern Wisconsin, you may still have a lingering snow chance early in the morning, but then it slowly clears as the day goes on. High temp tops out at 25. That's cooler than normal. Along with cooler than normal temperatures tomorrow, again, folks in the snow belt might get snow a little bit longer. We'll talk about totals coming up in just a little bit.
The Duluth City Council approved Mayor Emily Larson's emergency declaration in response to COVID-19 at a special meeting tonight. The declaration allows the mayor and the city's emergency manager to request and coordinate appropriate aid and resources as needed. Unemployment is spiking in Minnesota as bars, restaurants, and other businesses shut down. In Minnesota, new applications for unemployment insurance have reached 50,000 for this week alone, as measures to slow the spread of COVID-19 take their toll on the state's economy. In Wisconsin, they're up to 15,000. Minnesota's employment office has been taking as many as 2,000 applications per hour. They usually take less than 50 per hour. We have a link to how you can apply for unemployment in Minnesota and in Wisconsin on our website, CBS3Duluth.com. Duluth's Workforce Development Center says they are adjusting to meet the high number of unemployed residents. While their staff is working from home, they are responding to emails and phone calls. Their Career Force Center is still open with limits on how many people can use the computers and other resources at once. They're also exploring a virtual option to help people with job searches and resumes. Area small business owners may see some much-needed relief soon. The Entrepreneur Fund has created a small business relief fund in the hopes of giving out grants to qualifying small business owners. Donations to the relief fund are now being accepted, with 100% of the money going directly to small businesses. Your donation is also tax deductible. We have a link to help on our website. And there's additional good news for small business owners from Duluth City leaders and the state. The city says it's extending the February deadline for tourism tax payments, which were due tomorrow. They're now due April 20th. City leaders want to be clear the payments are not being eliminated. Meanwhile, the State Revenue Department announced today it's granting a 30-day sales tax grace period for impacted businesses. Owners will now have until April 20th to make their payment without facing a penalty. Hayward's Walmart is offering temporary employment for those laid off by COVID-19 closures. Some jobs include stocking, cleaning shelves, and helping customers. Check out our website for more details. New at 10, we're learning Cleveland Cliffs is temporarily shutting down construction of its HBI facility in Toledo, Ohio, effective tomorrow. The company says the decision was made in accordance with guidelines set by the governor of Ohio regarding COVID-19 concerns. All other Cleveland Cliffs iron ore mining and steelmaking facilities will remain in operation. For all the latest coronavirus-related coverage and closings, stick with CBS right here on your television, online, and on social media. Just click the Coronavirus tab on our website. Still to come, with many things shut down and people staying home, experts say the climate is actually benefiting. We'll tell you why after the break.
72 was the record high for this date from 2012. 26 below the record low. 1875, widespread years. Tomorrow, splitting the difference between high and low. Will be fairly close to normal for temperatures. Will this snow end? For some it will. For others it may linger. We'll talk about who's who coming up after our break.
Live, local, CBS3 News at 10 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS3. Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on Live, local, CBS3 Duluth.
My name is Dan Metcalf. I'm a general surgeon and a colorectal surgeon at Memorial Medical Center. I bring a new set of skills to Ashland, and some of what Ashland would allow me is a culture that is very patient-centered. That's a really important part of surgery or medicine in general, is really getting to know the people that you're taking care of. I get the joy of seeing patients every day and taking care of people every day and learning about their lives as well as fixing them.
Your work is your name. You live by it. At Northland Lawn Sport and Equipment, we take our name, our work, just as seriously. John Deere excavators, skid steers, and loaders have the compact agility and big-time ability you need to finish the job. Comfortable, affordable, and backed by a 2-year, 2,000-hour full machine warranty. Standard. In-person service calls and parts delivery keep you work ready. Our techs are highly trained and incredibly knowledgeable. Northland Lawn Sport and Equipment. We make sure the work lives up to your name.
Oak Lake RV wants to invite you to our open house. Browse our entire inventory from our indoor showroom to our clear lot on March 18th to the 21st. Now is the time to buy. Non-current year models must go with our open house pricing. Visit oaklakerv.com for more details. Oak Lake RV in Moose Lake, family owned and operated since 1930.
I guarantee you, if your home just burned to the ground or you had a major accident, your first thing you're going to think about, it's not going to be, I just saved $500 on my auto and home insurance today. It's going to be, am I covered? At Vernon Insurance Agency, our first, second, and third goal is that you understand your coverage, there's no gaps in coverage, and your claims are covered when you have them. Call Vernon Insurance Agency today, 218-384-3970.
Spring is right around the corner, which means special spring bonus savings are back. For a limited time, you can get an extra $1,000 in spring bonus cash on a new Ford SUV. The all-new Escape has tech to give you peace of mind behind the wheel, while the redesigned Explorer will adjust to every road and any conditions. See for yourself why Ford is America's best-selling brand. Now with an extra $1,000 in spring bonus cash, get $6,250 in total cash on a 2020 Explorer. Hurry in to your local Northland Ford dealer today.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, this low pressure system that's been with us for a day and a half or so hasn't really slapped us too hard, but it's tickled us a little bit with some slip on the roadways this morning. This morning it was Minnesota's turn with upwards of 3 inches on the ground there, especially along the Iron Ranges, both the Mesabi and even the Vermilion. Now tonight, as the low departs, it's the turn for the snow belt to get some snow. And if the rest of us just got greased a little bit here, the snow belt could get smacked with a moderate snowfall. Winter weather advisory for the South Shore in effect until at least 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Some rumblings it could be extended a little bit longer than that for a couple of hours as well. And by the time all is said and done, this part of the world could get 4 to 8 inches of snow. We'll show you the latest chart on that in just a little bit. But we take a look right now at downtown Duluth with that live local picture behind the data. And the data says it's 29 degrees at Duluth Airport right now. The wind, it's northerly, 20 miles per hour. But that's a sign that the low is going and high pressure's coming in behind, kicking up the winds, and should be clearing out the sky tomorrow. First in Minnesota, then for Wisconsin, thirdly for the UP. Now let's take a look at the Doppler map for the situation right now. And the rain is shifting over to lighter snows here once you get towards the snow belt. Light, yes, but persistent. That's what they could be. So they could last for several more hours here in this neck of the woods. And that's why that zone could manage about 4 to 8 inches of snow by roughly 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Now here in Minnesota, with the higher pressure trying to enter in here, the snow is getting a little bit thinner and more widely dispersed. You can still see a few more flakes through early tomorrow morning, but shouldn't add up to much more than what you've already received here today. Again, for northern Wisconsin here, it's a slightly different story, splitting the difference between the UP and Minnesota. You may get a trace to a couple of inches as well before all is said and done tomorrow afternoon. So tomorrow morning, still a chance for the snow in our region as the low continues its progression to the east. But once we get into Saturday, high pressure chases away the low, brings back sunshine, at least for Saturday, and only Saturday perhaps, because yet another low could be with us by Sunday, bringing back the clouds and a chance for a rain and snow mix. Now here's a look at that chart I promised for what the snow totals should be by tomorrow afternoon, and this includes all the totals from yesterday in through Friday morning. So Minnesota traced to maybe 3 inches, northwestern Wisconsin maybe 1 to 4, and again, if you're on the South Shore snow belt, 4 to 8 possible for you. Tonight in Minnesota, your temperatures possible could go down as low as 3 near International Falls, 7 Ely, 9 for Hibbing, 11 to 18 for the rest of Minnesota. Light snow at least still vaguely possible for a few more hours. Light to moderate snow still possible through tomorrow afternoon for Wisconsin and the UP. 15 to 19 for the high temps or low temps here tonight. Tomorrow's high temps, Wisconsin, Michigan, run 24 to 27. That's cooler than normal. Minnesota high temps go 22 to 26. That's cooler than normal. The normal is 35. We don't hit it Friday. We don't hit it Saturday, but we get sunshine to smack us there, Kristen. Then comes Sunday, back to normal temperature-wise, and that's when the next chance for lighter flurries come around, Sunday, Monday. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week, 50 to 60% chances for more of a mix, just like we had today.
All right. Welcome spring.
Yeah. Hurry up.
Right. Yeah, thanks, Dave. As many communities are on hold across the nation, travel and business is drastically slowing down. Airports are nearly empty, roads are bare, and businesses are dark. But as the coronavirus takes its toll on society, there may be a bright spot in all the chaos. CBS 3's Jesse Slater tells us more.
Clearer skies, crystal water, and a breath of fresh air. If there were ever a silver lining to the novel coronavirus global outbreak, it's that it's allowing Earth time to heal.
This is a reduction for sure. It's just that it's going to look like a blip, at least at first.
Minnesota DNR climatologist Dr. Kenneth Blumenfeld says with slower travel, it is allowing society to cut back on carbon emissions, but it's not a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Remember, there's already a lot of carbon in the atmosphere from everything we've been emitting over the recent decades.
Blumenfeld says the overall effect on the climate will be insignificant at first, but the total effect will depend on how long this reduction in activities lasts.
And then the real question is going to be, what do we do after when we get into recovery?
He stresses there may be an opportunity to implement some important changes that do help the trajectory of the climate.
There's a decent chance that we're going to be flying less for a long time, and maybe people are going to be considering, less crowded means of transportation.
Flying less could have some positive impacts on the environment.
When you don't have as much air traffic, what some research right after 9/11 showed was that you get fewer of those airplane-related clouds, and that actually results in more sun getting through during the day and also more clear skies at night.
Blumenfeld says once the world recovers from the virus, the climate issues will still exist. Getting people to care about the environment after a global health scare will be the real challenge.
Can't make any predictions because we're really just at the beginning of this particular episode, and we don't know what society is going to go through to get to the other side of it.
Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, with so many people working from home, we're hearing from experts on tips to make your work from home experience productive and enjoyable. Details coming up.
CBS 3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Got you some sun protection.
But we work inside.
Now what?
He's doing surprise trust falls.
I trust you, Jim.
With Western National insuring your business,
you'll get me next time.
You'll have to find something else to worry about.
The all-new Silverado HD adds to the legendary capability of the strongest, most advanced Silverados ever.
with best-in-class camera technology and larger, more functional beds than any competitor. The only truck that can compare to a Silverado is another Silverado.
Or use Auto Show Cash to get $8,000 total value on this Silverado without the optional camera technology package. Or during Truck Month, get 0% financing for 72 months plus $500 cash allowance on all Silverado 1500 Crew Cab pickups.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting nationalguard.com.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez, on CBS3.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk. No matter what you're going through, I just want you to know I'm here. I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
Here from Discover Wisconsin. Join me and the rest of the DW crew every week on this station for all things Wisconsin. Continue the adventure on social media and discoverwisconsin.com for behind-the-scenes content and great Wisconsin giveaways, including a chance to win a free vacation. This week's featured prize package could take you to Elkhorn. Just visit discoverwisconsin.com for details.
Duke is a man of few words and many songs.
Let freedom ring. Gone country. Ain't going down till the sun comes up.
It's 102.5. Duke FM.
Star Trek Enterprise. Find heroes and icons only on My 9.
Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on live local CBS3 Duluth.
Working from home is the new norm for some people due to the COVID-19 pandemic. If you're getting distracted or having trouble sharing spaces with others, you're not alone. CBS3's Emma Quinn spoke with a couple who has been working from home together for more than 5 years, and they have some tips that everyone can benefit from.
Working from home due to COVID-19 can cause some real cabin fever for those who aren't used to it. For Duluth life and business coaches Elsie Storm and Johnny Roman, they say whether you are home alone or not, finding a structured place to work helps keep you motivated.
Whether it's your dining room table or if you can set up a mini office somewhere.
If it's possible to work in different parts of the house and create an actual space.
They say setting up a schedule for yourself will help structure your days.
Creating some kind of a distinction between being at home and being at work.
Getting dressed, taking a shower. It even helps to leave the house first thing in the morning.
Leaving the house, getting fresh air, and taking your furry friends for a walk can benefit your mental health. I, like many others, have been working from home. Some distractions I found are my dog Betty, but Roman says it's important to know when it's a distraction and when you need to take a break.
The temptation to tidy up the house and do laundry and do the dishes really sneaks in. You have to create somewhat of a discipline. Part of that is awareness and how am I feeling, and am I going stir crazy, and if so, then I need to take a break.
All right, Kelly's here now for a look at what's coming up in sports. Hey, Kelly.
When are you going to do a story with Louie?
Oh, that's a good question. It's going to happen.
I think this is the time, if anything. We all know that.
Louie's my dog, in case anyone doesn't know.
We're a little Pomeranian. That is just the cutest thing in the world. Anyway, you want to hear about sports?
I do.
Yeah. Okay,
I'd love to.
College of St. Scholastica football team has a new offensive coordinator. We'll bring you more on his story coming up next in sports.
Welcome to Medical Insight, a weekly healthcare feature brought to you by the experts at Essentia Health. Here's your host, Louis St. George.
Today on Medical Insight, Dr. Ryan Greshel describes how Essentia Health is treating acid reflux with an innovative device called the Lynx Reflux Management System, which strengthens the lower part of the esophagus.
The way we were intended to be is that at the end of our esophagus, before the stomach starts, there is increased tone in the muscle there. We call that the lower esophageal sphincter. So a normal person has some increased tone right there that can relax to allow food to go through it into your stomach, but when you're not swallowing, it's designed to stay tight so that acid from your stomach is not refluxing up into your esophagus. So the Lynx device works by adding this ring of magnetic beads around that portion of the esophagus to provide some additional tone.
Surgery to implement a Lynx device is minimally invasive and lasts between 30 and 60 minutes. Recovery is swift as patients typically go home the same day and can immediately return to their normal diets.
Who's going to pursue some surgery for their GERD or surgical correction for GERD is generally patients that have severe symptoms and they're not getting the relief from the acid suppressive medications that they would like. After placement of a Lynx device, about 85% of patients will completely get off their acid suppressive medications. As far as symptom control, many patients with GERD have heartburn or regurgitation or pulmonary symptoms, but 99% of patients with a Lynx have no more regurgitation. So if they had regurgitation before, it's gone. 88% of the patients with heartburn no longer have heartburn after a Lynx is placed. So the symptom resolution is excellent.
For Medical Insight, I'm Louis St. George.
To learn more about this and other health topics, visit essentiahealth.org/medical insight.
What are you thinking?
Thinking about burger, fries, and some pie.
You know it's 9 o'clock in the morning.
Well, then bring the pie first.
It's back and better than ever. Hurry in today for Perkins Burger, Fries, and Pie Combo. For a limited time, enjoy any burger, crispy fries, and a slice of our famous pie. It's dinner, dessert, and a deal. Only at Perkins.
A lot has changed overnight, but Buick and GMC's commitment to you remains the same. We understand you want to feel safe, so we're offering current owners complimentary OnStar Crisis Assist services. Should you need a vehicle, we're offering 0% financing for up to 84 months with deferred payment options for 120 days. Plus, you may have the option to shop online and take delivery at home. Visit our websites for the help you need. Buick and GMC, we're here to help.
Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
It's been quite the journey. That's what St. Scholastica's new offensive coordinator, Matt Bremer, said after being away from the program for 3 years. Bremer was officially named as offensive coordinator on Monday, returning to the program he coached at from 2010 to 2016. That very same day, the UMAC conference announced that they were canceling all competitions and practices for the spring season, leaving the St. Scholastica staff without a chance, for now, to coach its team during their usual spring ball practices. Bremer admits it's been chaotic at times, but with all the changes, it's given the staff time to prepare for whenever they'll see their players.
Right now, we've been dissecting cut-ups and really digging deep into last season, and the coach has been catching me up on kind of everything that kind of went on last season, and from there we're kind of starting to develop our plan for if we get a spring, if we don't get a spring, and then obviously leading into fall camp, what our install schedule is going to be like, and those types of things as well.
Bremer also added that recruiting has changed quite a bit. Instead of usual on-campus visits, they've been doing plenty of phone calls and texts, plus writing handwritten letters. Well, as of earlier today, the COVID-19 epidemic hadn't reached the NFL yet. That changed with a report from ESPN's Adam Schefter. The New Orleans Saints head coach Sean Payton has tested positive for the coronavirus. Payton is the first NFL figure known to have become affected by COVID-19. He says he didn't feel well this past Sunday, took the test on Monday, and received the results Thursday afternoon. Payton says he is going public with his diagnosis in order to stress the importance of taking proper precautions against the virus. The 56-year-old is set to enter his 14th season as the Saints head coach. Well, it's a tale as old as time. The Minnesota Vikings and the search for a reliable kicker. Since the unmentionable playoff ending in 2016 with Blair Walsh, 4 different kickers have suited up in a game for the Purple. And it seems like one of them is finally stuck. Dan Bailey has officially agreed to terms on a new deal with the Vikings, reportedly for 3 more years. Bailey made just over 93% of his kicks last season, going 8 for 10 outside 40 yards. He also made 40 of 44 extra points. This comes after Minnesota signed fellow specialist punter Britton Colquitt earlier this week. Meanwhile, another Viking is on his way out. Safety Jaron Kearse is signing with the division rival Detroit Lions, per report by the NFL Network. He had been in Minnesota for the past 4 seasons. Last year, he started in 3 games and saw playing time in 15. Kearse recorded 1 interception and 6 pass deflections, including a pair of game-winning plays against Denver and Dallas last season. And the departures continue for the Vikings. Mackenzie Alexander has now agreed to terms on a 1-year deal with the Cincinnati Bengals. The deal is reportedly worth $4 million. Alexander is the second former cornerback to sign with the Bengals this offseason. Earlier this week, Trey Waynes agreed to a 3-year, $42 million contract with Cincinnati as well. A 54th overall pick from Clemson in 2016. Alexander has 2 interceptions, 4.5 sacks, 21 passes defended, and 9 tackles for a loss in 4 seasons. He sustained an injury to his knee that required off-season surgery in the Vikings' Week 17 game against Chicago. That's going to do for sports tonight. We'll be right back after the break.
CBS3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health, St. Mary's Heart and Vascular Center. Heart disease is the leading cause of death in the U.S. Ask your doctor how to keep your heart healthy.
When we face adversity, we find a way through it. It's about taking care of each other. It's the small parts that make a big difference. At Chevy, we promise to do ours. We're offering Chevy owners complimentary OnStar Crisis Assist services and Wi-Fi data. If you need a new Chevy, interest-free financing for 84 months with deferred payments for 120 days on many of our most popular models. You may even shop online and take delivery at home. It's just our way of doing our part.
You might not be into the latest bands that teens love, but Big Tobacco is. And they're blending right in. Big Tobacco spends at least $100 million a year on marketing in Minnesota, sponsoring shows, butting in on social media conversations, and giving away free concert tickets. All to reach and hook kids while you're not looking. Learn more at missingitmn.org.
Start in the industry was in reporting and storytelling, and so to have those skills each night really adds value.
They're saying a Duluthian would need to work 90 hours to afford rent.
He went right from a reporter where he was covering everything in the Northland, and he went right to the desk. He really does know what he's talking about.
Get to know Anthony Matt weekday nights on CBS3.
New ownership means new inventory. Link Rec is having our Clear the Deck sale. $4 million of new and used boats, engines, and accessories must go. All discounted with savings up to $22,000. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime sale. Something for everybody, something for every budget.
Water makes life possible on Earth and in our homes. Culligan conserves this resource with its high-efficiency water softener, the world's best because it uses less water, and that matters to all of us. Click or call Culligan Water and start saving today.
Oak Lake RV wants to invite you to our open house. Browse our entire inventory from our indoor showroom to our clear lot on March 18th to the 21st. Now is the time to buy. Non-current year models must go with our open house pricing. Visit oaklakerv.com for more details. Oak Lake RV in Moose Lake, family owned and operated since 1930.
Men's wardrobe provided by Mainstream Fashions for Men. Our buy one, get one for $1 suit and sport coat sale is now in progress. Hundreds of options. Mainstream, downtown Duluth.
Yeah.
All right, Dave, let's get a final look at the weather. Snow still falling?
It could still fall, especially for the South Shore. Minnesota has a very slight chance. Northwestern Wisconsin, a fair chance. And folks in the UP, a pretty decent chance. The snow belt could get up to 4 to 8 inches sticking by about noon tomorrow. The rest of us have the snow tapering off and a clearer sky returning by Friday afternoon. Friday's high of 25 is cooler than normal. Saturday, still cooler than normal. Sunday, back to normal. Monday, warmer than normal with a chance for another mix coming into the region.
All right, another mixed bag there for us.
It is indeed.
All right, thanks, Dave. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.